My sister-in-law is who I ran it with, and so when we both got up, I was like really excited. I had a lot of energy. We were both like just so jittery, so like all that anxious adrenaline pumping through already. We had like our outfits set out, like everything's ready to go. All of our like goos and all our like electrolyte hydration stuff was all pumped up and ready to go. And my sister-in-law goes to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, it's, you know, whatever, 5:30 I think is when they gave out the announcement, and I looked at my phone, and it like, all I saw was like TC, 10 mile, and marathon canceled as a subject line, and I like, my stomach dropped, because I was like, I'm gonna have to be the person to tell my sister-in-law, like, this is canceled. And I just tell her like, hey, I got the email, and the marathon's canceled. And her first reaction is like, you're joking. Like literally she just said, you're joking. Why are you doing that to me right now? And I was like, I'm not joking. I would never joke about this. It's legitimately what I said.
So I looked at my email, and they had officially canceled, which was a bummer. So then I told Sam, and I think we were both kind of shell-shocked for a little bit, and took some processing. Initially, for sure, pretty bummed.
A lot of people felt ready to run the marathon, and so when it got canceled, it kind of feels a little bit like all those hours put in were kind of put to waste. And so for a lot of people, I think, myself included, I felt like, well, I worked this hard to get in shape, I might as well find another race to sign up for and do.
I think some people were like really, really mad. And I think other people were kind of like, yeah, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, but I'm here to do it. I'm gonna do it anyway, you know? Well, first she said, I think we should still run it. And I said, I think you're right. Like, I think we should still do it. And I just said, you know what, I actually think there will be a lot of people out there. And because I just remembered my first marathon and like the dedication that people have, and also the dedication that spectators have to the marathon.
So because Twin Cities got canceled, we ended up signing up for Whistle Stop out in Ashland.
Not exactly what I was looking for, just based on like the size of the field, and then knowing I cheered last year, and so the size of the crowds, knowing there weren't going to be that many people cheering, but the weather was certainly going to be better, even like that far out. Looked like it was going to be much more what I had been training in, what I was comfortable running in.
It was warm, but it was like, there was still people out there, so there was like, my adrenaline like was still present. No one was out there to like PR, you know, we were all out there like just to get through it. But it still felt like a special day. Like I still felt special, and I still felt like cheered on for, and I actually like think it was more powerful in a lot of ways, because it was like, these people really don't have to be out here.
It went really well. I added a couple of gels, so I feel a bit more often than I was expecting, or that I had trained, and that went really well. The weather held up. It was a little bit misty, but the trail was pretty dry and fast, and I had people to run with the whole time, and then I ran my fastest good time. That was a good day. Yeah.
I didn't have a great day today at Whistle Stop. I ended up dropping out 18 miles in, but I'm not too bummed. I think kind of after Twin Cities, I was like mentally prepared to be done, and so it's kind of relieving to be done with this. And I'm glad we were able to find something kind of last minute to hop into, and yeah, fun day out on the trail.
I think I felt really sad because I don't feel like we got that moment at the end, like the finish line moment where we really, really crossed that finish line. Like my sister-in-law and I both talked about like we were gonna hold hands, we were gonna like put our hands up and like get that photo at the end and like say we really did it. Yeah. But yeah, running that Twin Cities Marathon, seriously, it like brings me to tears even thinking about it, but it's just like the most wild, energetic, fun, like everyone just is so happy to be there. Like even, I mean, just spectators are happy to be there. And I think too, like, it's inspirational, right? Like, legitimately, there are people that have never run a marathon before, or haven't run like 2 miles before, you know, and are out there doing it with you. And it's just thousands and thousands of people feeling the same feeling you are. There's a grieving part, and I think something to add to this is, like, we've been grieving for the last 3 years, and I think maybe even with the pandemic, you know, like, all of these things that have happened, I think as I'm processing, like, remember getting that email, and like it definitely felt the weight of, like, okay, this feels like COVID, you know, like when things are just canceled. For the last 3 years we've been in this like constant pivoting, right? Like, so it's kind of fascinating to think about it if you like parallel to what, you know, what we've experienced in our community, in our world, you know, and enduring that, like, resilience and this, like, you know, how do we still show up for people even when it's different? And I think people were kind of trained for that already. Like, we're already trained to pivot, and I think that that's kind of the crazy part about this is, like, it's shocking, but I think at the end of the day, like, when my sister-in-law and I looked at each other, we're like, we're gonna still do it. And it's maybe not gonna be the same, right? But we're gonna grieve a little bit, but we're still gonna do it, and it's gonna be awesome. It just might look different.